Why do so many people struggle when it comes to reversing pre-diabetes or type 2 diabetes? I've got three main mistakes that I see people making, and I'm going to share with you how to avoid them. My name is Dr. Neris Freita. I'm a GP, and I help people reverse their type 2 diabetes or pre-diabetes without using medication, but with using lifestyle changes. So the first thing that I notice people doing is being confused. So there is a lot of conflicting advice out there. Quite often your doctor will say something quite different to the internet, and I think that is a huge source of confusion. In general, as doctors, we've traditionally advised low fat, watching calories, exercising more, the more kind of traditional diet. But if you go on the internet, you'll quite quickly find that the advice is to eat low carb, because carbs are the food that your pancreas struggles with the most. And I don't know if you've realised, but with type 2 diabetes or pre-diabetes, it is a problem of the pancreas burning out. So it's struggling to do its job. And its job is to keep that glucose level in range. Glucose is sugar. It wants about 1 teaspoon equivalent of sugar in the blood at all times. And it's quite a hard job doing that if you're eating quite a lot of carbohydrates, because you're on this sugar roller coaster and it goes up and down all day long and your pancreas is trying its best to catch up. So what I find people do is they've been given this advice of eat low fat by their doctor, and they're seeing on the internet do low carb. So what I find people do is they go half in on both. And I don't know if you're somebody that's tried this before, so you know you need to cut down the carbs, but a low carb diet, essentially you need to increase the fat for it to really work its best. But you don't want to do that because you're worried about your cholesterol, you're worried about heart attacks and stroke. So you end up trying to keep that a bit low as well. And you end up trying to do this hybrid low carb, low fat combination. And you know what? It doesn't leave you a lot of foods left, and it may well leave you quite hungry and looking for snacks and feeling like things are really restrictive. And of course, it's because it is. And what I spend a lot of my time doing is trying to educate people that it's okay to eat more fat. And you know what? It is scary. I went through this as a doctor. I did so much research at the beginning because it is the complete opposite. You're trying to do two diets that are complete opposite, and it doesn't work. Because when you lower the carbs, you increase the fat and protein, and that's exactly how you feel full. You keep full in between meals. You can go from breakfast to lunchtime without a problem. So my advice there would be to choose either or. Don't try to do both. Choose one and stick with it. Give it a trial. There's nothing wrong with checking your cholesterol before and 6 months after a low carb diet. Now, I've been doing this for years. I've been helping patients. I've got loads of blood tests, and most cases do lead to an improvement in your blood cholesterol. So the other mistake I see people doing is this mindset of a diet that, again, is along the restriction mindset. I can't have this. This is bad. This is good. And you kind of navigate your world according to those rules, if you like. But actually, and unfortunately, you don't just treat diabetes with a lifestyle change and then go back to the way you were. It doesn't work. And we also know that the more diets you do, the more harmful it is to your health, unfortunately, and your body remembers it. So the more times you've restricted calories, eaten less than you need, your body will actually, or your brain will think that you're in a dangerous environment. You've got to remember that your brain is still quite primitive in that it doesn't understand you deliberately restricting calories. It thinks you're in a dangerous environment with not much food, therefore it needs to hold on to the fat. So instead of activating these pathways whereby your body wants you to regain weight, it's better to think ahead, to create systems. So for example, getting breakfast right, making sure that's the best and most nutritious meal of the day, and you've really set yourself up. But making it easy, not trying to have something really complex every morning when you've got to take the kids to school and going to work yourself and preparing packed lunch and da-da-da-da-da. Make it as healthy and as easy as you can. And number 3 is, this is a huge mistake. I've mentioned it in other videos, but making the mistake of choosing low sugar or low carb food. What I mean by this is processed food, so factory made food. Factory made food may indeed be low in sugar, but I can guarantee you they've replaced the sweeteners with chemicals. Human body is not designed for man-made chemicals. They may not make you ill straight away, but I am telling you now, they will make you ill down the line. And the way it does it, it produces inflammation. And the inflammation is the majority of the work I see as a GP. Things like chronic joint pains, chronic back pain, low energy, tired all the time, diabetes, high blood pressure, fatty liver, all of them are linked together. And they're quite often linked together by inflammation, either by high glucose or by chemicals in food. So try your best to cook from scratch. I know it's hard. I work full time as well, but it is well worth the investment. Trust me, I'm a doctor. I see ill people every day. So just do these little things to try and help yourself.